Welcome back to the channel. Today is day 14 of creating a 3D printing startup business. So today we'll be looking at an item, bringing it from file form to physical product and seeing if it meets the viability test. If this is something that the numbers seem to work, the product can be made efficiently, and if the logistics work for shipment. But before we make it over to the computer, let's get the filament changed out for the type that we'll need for today. So the color we're going to be using for the print today is just a standard white. And I've got a couple open rolls on these lower A1s. For the sake of visibility, I'm just going to transfer those up here. And then what I want to do is run the same print on a few of these machines with some different parameters set to try to dial in the closest to perfect print that we can achieve. So I'm going to use these top 3 A1s, and then I'm also going to run one on one of these P1Ps. Alright, so let's get the filament loaded. And the dehumidifier has been running perfect, I would say. But I do want to open one new box of white just to confirm that we aren't going to have any moisture issues with this open filament. It has been open for a few days now. So for demonstration purposes, we use one fresh out of the box. But the dehumidifier is at 39%. And also our meter is confirming that we are at about 33% humidity. So I really don't anticipate any issues with this open filament. Okay guys, so we have all of the white filament loaded up. So let's get over to the computer and we will send over the file that we will be printing today. Okay guys, we are at the computer. Now this is the item that we are going to be printing. Now for comparison, the product listing that I found is of a 2-pack. So let's go ahead and just slice this. So there we go. Our estimated cost is 82 cents. Print time is 1 hour and 50 minutes. Here's the weight. But for today, I'm going to print one. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you the product listing. This is on Amazon. So what we have here is a bathroom tumbler cup, 10.5 ounces, reusable, unbreakable. So their selling price is $8.49 for a 2-pack. Now, if you do the math, I entered everything in that it would cost me. A lot of this is auto-formatted. But down here at the bottom, miscellaneous cost, I put 15 cents. Now, this is per unit. Or per package, which is a 2-pack unit. So it's going to cost me 15 cents to get it to Amazon, shipping cost. And then cost of goods sold, we have 90 cents. I ran the math based off of my kilowatt hours and how much it costs where I am at. It cost me 6 cents to print a 2-pack. So that would leave, after selling one unit, one 2-pack, $2.14 net profit and a net margin of 25%. Now, there's some tiny little nuance costs. I'm sure the cost of the box to put all these units inside to ship to Amazon. That's going to be minimal, spread out over the amount that I can fit and send in. Let me double check. I did the math. And I can fit 297 2-packs per box to Amazon. Basically, the largest box that Amazon will receive, I can get almost 300 2-pack units inside. So the cost of that is very minimal, spread out across all those units. Now, if this were a product I was going to sell, which I'm not, I'm doing all this for illustration purposes, I can basically load that build plate up. I ran it, I think I could get 12 single items on one build plate. So we're looking at 6 2-packs, which is good. I mean, the sales rank for this item is 60,000 in home and kitchen. So let's pull up a rank chart. So home and kitchen, there's 144 million different items. To be in the top 1%, your ranking needs to be, below almost 1.5 million. I mean, this is 60,000. So the sales velocity of this item is great, and there really is nothing special about this item. It's just a good product that lists and ranks well. It has very good reviews. So all of this is part of finding a good product to list, right? You're not going to find a product and list it, and guess what? Tomorrow you have 601 reviews at 4.5 stars. That takes time. There's strategy to even get a product on something like Amazon and to get it to rank. That is completely separate. But all of that is just as possible as finding a potentially profitable item. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to get a few of these sent over to the printers and see what the type of quality we can get and see what the most optimal quality we can get to compare this product. Now, I did buy this product. It will be shipped to me. I believe it arrives tomorrow. So for the interim, we'll get some printed, and then we can do a side-by-side comparison. I do know that this product has sold about 700 times the past month. So yeah, just great sales velocity. So let me go ahead and get these sent over. Okay guys, well there we go. These have all finished up. So let's go ahead and get them on the table and we will see how they turned out. Okay, so everything is finished printing. It is on the table in front of us, and now we can take a closer look at the final print quality of these items. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so let's take a look at these. Now, I set a couple of these with some different parameters. I wanted just to see, what the prints would turn out as. And I did have two new rolls that I wanted just to throw in there to confirm that the opened and older filament wasn't going to change the overall and final print quality. So we will start on my right. So this first one was with the generic PLA settings. I have a little bit of cleaning up, but the generic PLA settings, and this was a new roll of filament. So you have your seam on the back, but other than that, I mean, in the light, when I shine the flashlight on it, you can see some vertical artifacts, but it's really not terrible at all. The quality is good. I mean, this thing is definitely durable. It's not ready to just crack, which is nice. Now the second one is going to be just the generic PLA settings and a older or a used roll of filament. So the filament had been sitting out for probably 4 or 5 days by now. I mean, comparative, there's really not much of a difference that I can really pick up on. So that shows that this filament is holding pretty well out here, which is nice. Now, this third one was ran. Now, these two, the first ones that we discussed were on the A1s. This third one was also on an A1, but I changed it to the bamboo PLA setting just to see, if it gave any better of a quality or, if we were getting just the same. So, honestly, I would say it's a slight bit better. You don't see the layer lines just as much. I don't know if that is picking up on camera, but this one, you can see the layer lines a bit more than on the one that had the bamboo PLA setting. Now again, this was all ran with any cubic PLA, but I have heard that if you basically just run it real quick on the bamboo setting, you typically or sometimes can get a bit better print quality with the PLA. I don't know about the other filament types, and the settings, are endless inside of Bamboo Studio or any slicer. You can really, fine tune these items to really get them just very dialed in. So this one, the second to the left, is on the P1P, and this was with older filament, so opened and used filament. Again, not terrible on this. And then the last one all the way to the left was done on the P1P with new filament right out of the box today and the bamboo PLA setting. Now if I compare the two, they are just about identical. And I would say this one so far I think is probably our best print. And this was with the A1 on the bamboo PLA setting with a open older roll of filament. I mean, compared, they're just about the same. So for me, I would say that the bamboo setting availed a better print quality. It definitely did. So I did confirm on the generic PLA settings that it was within any cubic specs for this filament, and it was. But by changing it to bamboo filament, as far as the setting type, it definitely produced a better print, I would say. So let's get the rest of these cleared off, and we will focus on this one. So I like the way that this turned out. I think this would be sell ready. When the comparables come in the mail that I ordered from Amazon, we'll put them side by side. But honestly, I'm liking this, guys. It's durable. The outer shell is essentially flawless. You can't tell the layer lines really at all. It just seems like a quality product. Basically with the listing that I showed you guys, it would be 2 of these. Now, for Amazon, the only thing I'd have to do, put it inside a bag, put them both in here because it is a set. Seal it up. I would put a little sticker that says sold as set, do not separate. And then the only thing after that, I would be printing off the FN SKUs. They are an Amazon barcode that identifies the item that I'm sending into them, and it allows them to place it correctly and get it ready to be shipped off once it sells. And then these are so lightweight. Shipping these and coming up with a good way of getting these in the mail, if this isn't, fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by any other marketplace, if you're sending this out from your house, these would be relatively simple to package up and ship. Now, as discussed, this was just a very quick search, something that I can relate and emphasize and show relatively easy. It's not a overly complicated product, and it allows me to demonstrate from conception to completion. Now, do I think if you spent a good amount of time and some money, to get this ranked and to get it visible on Amazon as far as higher up in the search results, could you sell this? I definitely think you could. I want to emphasize to everyone that there is money in boring products, simple products, everyday products. We saw that there were 144 million different items inside the household category. If I searched just that category on Amazon and I scrolled by every single listing and I took 1 second to scroll by it, it would take me 4.5 years, 24/7, 365 days of nonstop scrolling to go past every single listing. That is an immense amount of opportunity and products that you can be selling just as well. So now that I would classify this as sell ready, we can go ahead and take this through the rest of the process. And that'll come in the coming days. I still personally have to get these designated areas set up, and that's going to be the photography room, amongst other things. And then ultimately getting it placed onto a marketplace. So I think this was fun. I think it emphasizes and shows the capabilities of this type of manufacturing process. And it allows you to see the process that I will be going through as well. As I take each individual item that I plan on selling, and I go over the same process and same critiquing to ensure that it is also sale ready. This is just yet but another crucial point in the process line of getting something to the market. But as with all of them, it is another very important and crucial step. And once you have everything dialed in, it really is rinse and repeat, and you can get production moving pretty quickly. You have to keep your eyes on some of the other variables, such as the printer maintenance and things of that nature, but as an overall rule of thumb, once you have this kind of rounded out, it moves very quickly and very efficiently. So guys, I think this was another very successful day. Day 14, 2/3 of the way there. As always, thanks for joining. And if you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any day as we continue to build out this garage into a 3D printing startup business. I'll see you guys tomorrow.